Today I want to discuss solo travel versus group travel. Let me know what y'all think.
Away sometime. Adios. Get away sometime. Ciao, ciao. Get away sometime. Adios. Traveling since I took a trip to Cartagena. Mark calendar of the day, put in my daily planner. Pick cousin up who resided in Savannah. 3.5 hour trip to Departure in Atlanta. Book United, how I go up in the friendly sky. Once economy, now first class the way I fly. Airplane.
Everybody, what is up? What is up? YouTube family. UTT, the Travel MC. Put the seatbelt on. Making a lot of noise. What is going on? Today I want to discuss solo travel versus group travel. Let me know what y'all think. What's your opinions on that? But for the most part, I'm a solo traveler. Me and my girl, she wants to travel with me for the most part. A lot of times I guess it's just selfishness on my part, and I just really want to get up and go and don't really want to wait on nobody. So when it comes to solo travel, I think I'm definitely selfish when it comes to that, because I have a tendency of wanting to just go when I'm ready to go, book when I'm ready to book. And her being a mother, sometimes things aren't quite set up properly for her to go. The kids could be in school, they could be in school, holidays, anything. So when the kids are out of school, it's a little more difficult, I would say. I'll take that back. When the kids are in school, it's more difficult. When they're out of school, it's a whole lot easier. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. Like, we're going to Colombia next month together, right? We're going to Bogota. And it's easier for us to go to Bogota together next month because the kids are out of school, as you know. So that right there tells you that it's easier. But if the kids were in school, it would be a whole lot tougher. Because I have a 5-year-old and I have a soon-to-be 8-year-old, and yeah, they have older siblings, but then you got to count on them to be able to oversee and supervise the whole ordeal. And if a kid, let's say if they get lapsed, they fall asleep behind the wheel while me and my girl are on a trip for a week, that could be catastrophic. That would look bad on the parents. So, and it's not fair to the siblings, whether they're teenagers or whether they're grown or whatever have you, to have to be responsible for the little kids. So that's the only thing about having kids and you're trying to travel. It can be sometimes challenging, but I'm selfish, I will say that, and I like to just jump and go when I want to jump and go. I've pretty much for the most part been that way all my life, as far as doing what I want to do when I want to do it. I've been told that, and I do agree, and I'll take full accountability for that. But it's just the way it is. My goal is to try to get my kids passports. I want to have them involved with traveling, be familiar with traveling. I want them to think from an international standpoint. I don't really like what's going on with the climate. I don't like what's going on too tough with the music, with the culture of the U.S. right now. So I want to introduce my kids to travel and thinking outside the box and being on an international playing field. And to me, that's the way, that's what's best for the kids coming up. So right now the kids are out of school. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a trip for the kids this year, but next year I do want to do something for the kids. Where we travel out of country. whoever has a passport, whoever actually wants to go out of country, because every kid doesn't want to go out of country. So the ones that do want to go out of country, they're more than welcome. But I'm definitely gonna make sure the youngest kids have their passports because I feel like that's necessary. You know, if a kid is grown now, or if a kid's a teenager, they've already pretty much been raised and they already pretty much been brought up in their era, in their generation. But my kids that are the one that's 5 and the one that's let me see, going on 8, as I was telling you, and I got another, my stepson is 11. Is he 11, 10, 11? I think it's critical for them to really get their passports and see a different culture and get exposed to a different culture. I think when a kid is already 15, 16 on up, I don't want to say it's too late, but the influence is already there. So in a way I can say, hey, sometimes kids can be saved from thinking in the matrix if you can get them out of the box. I would say around 10 or 11 years old and expose them to that versus a kid that's 16, 17 years old about to graduate. So it's a whole lot different. So that's currently the situation. And, you know, the older children are more than welcome to travel if that's their interest, but it might not be their interest. They might not want to get on airplanes. They might not want to move around like that. The smaller kids, you can expose them to airplanes and catching flights and things of that nature, and they might come along. They might actually get adapted to that and accept that way of moving and shaking. I'm a mover and a shaker, you know? So I want to kind of expose them to being a mover and a shaker and let them know, you know, study another language, 2 or 3 other languages. I currently got an uncle right now that's in Germany. He's teaching his kids, not his kid. He has two newborns. He's like over 60 years old, and he's teaching both his kids, I think, German and I believe also American. I can't remember what the third language is, but they're definitely learning 2 languages. So, and that's amazing in itself. But these kids need to be bilingual, and these kids need to think outside the box. And the way that this country is going, the United States, the music and the culture, is nothing like when I came up. You know me, I'm an artist. I love hip-hop. I love poetry. And when I write, I try to write from the heart and from the soul. I'm not going to sit here and write about what I'm about to do, where I'm about to go right now, who I'm about to fold up, who I'm about to crack upside the head. I'm not gonna write songs about that. That's just not my style, and it's not my culture, and it's not my upbringing. So I'm a hip hop guy. So I'd rather stick to hip hop, or stick with the hip hop, stay on the hip hop route, shall I say. But the music, man, not all of it, but some of it is toxic, man. And I just believe the kids need to be exposed to other culture, and they need to learn to appreciate what they have. And they definitely need to get away from thinking about credit cards and car loans and designer clothes and things of that nature. There's nothing wrong with that stuff either, but you gotta balance it out a little bit. So that's what I got for you guys today. I want to talk about solo traveling versus group travel, and that's where I'm going with it. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in. UTT, the Travel MC. Like, share, subscribe. And if you feel like supporting me even more, please join the Patreon. See y'all later.
I did some sightseeing, met local family, cook, invite me in. Transpired before my night began. Space Dolce Vita, some spots I might be in. Yeah, avoid night crawlers and the stragglers. Got scope pole, I mean they drug and robbing travelers. Price a girl dope, I mean for life.